What if the fire burning in your chest, the one that aches for her, for love, for that electric rush of connection, isn't yours at all? What if it's a lie? A trick spun by a force that doesn't care about your dreams, your purpose, or your soul? Arthur Schopenhauer, the philosopher who stared into the abyss of existence and never blinked, believed women are the most powerful weapon of that force. He saw them as the smiling face of a trap, binding men to an endless cycle of suffering. Misogynist? The label sticks. His words cut deep, and they're meant to. But what if, buried in that venom, there's a truth you felt but never dared to name? This isn't a lecture, it's a mirror. Look into it. You might see a man caught in a game he didn't choose. We're diving into Schopenhauer's darkest ideas, not to defend him, but to dissect him, to understand why he saw women as the gatekeepers of a biological prison, to ask if his bitter philosophy, forged in pain, still echoes in the choices you make today. This won't be easy. It's not meant to be. But if you're a man seeking clarity, strength, and control, especially over attraction, mindset, and emotional dominance, you need to hear this. The stakes are high. Your purpose, your freedom, your very self. Let's start by peering into the abyss of Schopenhauer's worldview, where his controversial ideas take root. The abyss of the will. A universe without mercy. Schopenhauer didn't see the world as a place of hope, reason, or divine order. He saw a machine driven by a blind, relentless force he called the will to live. Picture it. A cosmic engine with no driver, no purpose, just an endless churn of creation and destruction. Every living thing, trees swaying in the wind, wolves hunting in the wild. You scrolling through your phone is a mask this force wears to keep itself alive. Your dreams, your ambitions, the ache in your gut when you see her smile, they're not fully yours. They're the will's strings, pulling you like a puppet to serve one goal, the survival of the species. Life, to Schopenhauer, is a rigged game. It swings like a pendulum between agony and boredom. You chase what you want, a promotion, a new truck, her number, and when you get it, the thrill fades like smoke. You're left empty, restless, craving the next hit. It's like grinding through a 60-hour workweek for a Friday night beer, only to find it warm and flat. Happiness? It's a flicker, a cruel tease in a desert of suffering. Schopenhauer wrote, "Life is a business that does not cover its costs." Harsh. Yes, but think about it. How many times have you hit a goal, landed the job, bought the car, won her heart, only to feel that nagging void creep back in? That's the will at work. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you running. In this grim universe, Schopenhauer draws a stark line between men and women. They're not two sides of the same coin. They're different tools, each crafted for a role in the will's plan. Women, he argued, are the will's masterpiece, perfectly engineered to preserve life. Their instincts, their focus on the present, their ability to nurture and stabilize. These aren't weaknesses, they're nature's design. A woman's mind, Schopenhauer claimed, doesn't drift into abstract ideals or cosmic truths. It's anchored in the now: home, family, survival. She's not chasing philosophy or glory. She's ensuring the species endures, whether it's raising kids in a suburban split level or managing the chaos of a family business. Men, though, they're the wild card, the glitch in the system. Men can break free from the will's grip, not always, but sometimes. A man can pour his life into something that serves no biological purpose. A novel no one reads, a startup that crashes, a war for an idea. Picture the artist grinding in a Brooklyn loft, the soldier dying for a flag, the coder burning out for a perfect algorithm. These acts defy the will. They're rebellion. Madness, maybe, but sacred madness. In these moments, a man isn't just a cog in nature's machine. He's something more, a spark of defiance against the blind force driving us all. But here's where Schopenhauer's shadow darkens. He saw women as the will's enforcers, the ones who chain men back to life's grind. He didn't hate them for it. He feared them, feared their power to pull a man off his path with a glance, a touch, a promise of pleasure. To him, A woman's charm is a weapon, honed by millions of years of evolution to keep the species alive. And men? We're vulnerable. One spark of desire, and the philosopher becomes a beast again. Let's explore this fear, this idea that women hold a power that can unravel even the strongest man. The siren's call. Women as nature's perfect weapon. Schopenhauer's essay, On Women, is a lightning rod. It stings. He wrote that women possess less logic, are driven by short-term instincts, lack a deep sense of justice, and are prone to deception. These words burn, no question. They're raw, unfiltered, and to modern ears, they scream misogyny. But Schopenhauer didn't see this as hatred. He saw it as metaphysical truth, rooted in his view of the will. To him, women are the purest expression of life's drive to survive. Their instincts aren't flawed, they're optimized. A woman's focus on the present, her ability to nurture, her knack for creating stability. These are the tools of survival, hardwired to protect the species. Think about it through a modern lens. Picture a single mom in a small Ohio town, juggling 2 jobs, keeping her kids fed, clothed, and safe. She's not dreaming of writing the next great American novel or solving quantum physics. Her genius lies in the immediate, making sure the fridge is stocked, the bills are paid, the family holds together. Schopenhauer would say this isn't a lack of ambition, it's a higher calling, one the will demands. Her role is to anchor life, to keep the cycle turning. Men, by contrast, are the outliers. Schopenhauer believed men have a rare ability to step outside the will's script. A man can sacrifice his comfort, his safety, even his life for something abstract: honor, truth, beauty. Think of the entrepreneur who risks everything on a vision, the musician who plays to empty bars for years, the firefighter who runs into a burning building. These aren't acts of survival, they're acts of defiance. They're a man saying no to the will's relentless push for more life, more reproduction, more of the same. But this defiance comes at a cost. Schopenhauer saw women as the will's counterforce, the ones who bring men back to earth. A woman's power, he argued, isn't in logic or strength, it's in seduction, in the way she can make a man forget his mission with a single smile. Picture a guy in his 30s, climbing the ladder at a tech firm, laser-focused on his goals. Then he meets her. She's magnetic, sharp, funny, with a laugh that hits like a drug. Suddenly, his late nights at the office turn into late nights texting her. His side hustle fades. His gym routine slips. He's not chasing his vision anymore. He's chasing her. Schopenhauer would say he's not in love. He's ensnared. Lover's deception. The cruel trick of romance. Let's talk about love, the kind that hits you like a freight train. Schopenhauer called it the will's cruelest trick, a biological sleight of hand dressed up as poetry. You meet her maybe at a bar in Chicago, a gym in Austin, or swiping through Tinder on a lonely night. Your pulse spikes. Your brain screams, "She's the one." You're not choosing her, the will is. It's scanning her like a barcode. Youth, health, symmetry, check, check, check. These aren't just traits you find hot. They're signals of fertility, wired into your DNA to keep the species going. Schopenhauer's take is brutal, but hits close to home. Men are drawn to beauty because it screams reproduction. Women, in turn, seek strength, status, security traits that ensure survival for her and her kids. It's why she's drawn to the guy with the corner office, the confident swagger, the steady paycheck. Love isn't a fairy tale. It's a contract negotiated by biology. You feel like you're writing a sonnet, but you're really signing a deal. Here's where it gets darker. Schopenhauer believed women wield this power instinctively. That flirtatious laugh, the way she brushes your arm, the vulnerability in her eyes, it's not random. It's a move in a game older than humanity. She's not plotting like a villain. She's playing her role, just as you're playing yours. Her charm sparks desire, and desire makes you pliable. You start bending, skipping workouts, blowing off friends, rethinking your goals. You marry, thinking it's love. She secures a provider, thinking it's love. The will laughs. It got what it wanted. Another generation. You've seen this, haven't you? Your buddy who was going to start a business, moved to Colorado, live free until he met her. Now he's got a mortgage, a minivan, and a job he hates. The fire in his eyes is gone. He's not the man he was. Or maybe it's you. You felt that pull, that fever, and suddenly your life wasn't yours anymore. You became her satellite, orbiting her needs, her plans, her world. And the worst part? She might not even respect you for it. Because deep down, a woman can't respect a man who trades his purpose for her approval. The wound that shaped the philosophy. A son's pain. To understand Schopenhauer's bitterness, we need to look at the man behind the ideas. His philosophy wasn't born in a vacuum. It grew from pain raw, personal, and unrelenting. The first woman in his life was his mother, Johanna Schopenhauer, a literary star in 19th century Germany. She was brilliant, charismatic, a novelist who hosted elite salons in Weimar. But to her son, she was a glacier cold, distant, unreachable. Their relationship was a battlefield. She called him gloomy, arrogant, a drain on her life. He called her vain, shallow, obsessed with status. Their letters drip with contempt, each wounding the other with surgical precision. When Schopenhauer wrote about women as incapable of objectivity, driven by vanity and performance, you can hear Johanna's voice in his words. His misogyny wasn't just a theory. It was a son's unhealed wound, bleeding onto the page. He didn't just distrust women. He saw them as the will's enforcers, because his mother, the first woman he knew, broke his heart. This doesn't excuse his generalizations, but it gives them depth. His philosophy is pain turned into ideas, a desperate attempt to make sense of a world that hurt him. Think about your own life. Haven't you carried wounds that shaped how you see the world? Maybe it was a mother who didn't show love, a first love who betrayed you, a rejection that cut deeper than you admitted. Those wounds don't just fade, they become lenses. Schopenhauer's lens was dark, but it was sharp. He saw women as the will's most effective agents, not because they're evil, but because they're powerful. Their ability to spark desire, to pull a man off his path, is a force he both feared and respected. The power of seduction, the will's subtle weapon. Let's lean into this idea of seduction, because it's where Schopenhauer's philosophy gets uncomfortably real. He saw women's power not in strength or logic, but in their ability to unravel a man's resolve. Picture a guy in his late 20s, a welder in Pittsburgh with dreams of starting his own shop. He's disciplined, grinding every day, saving every penny. Then he meets her. She's not just beautiful, she's electric. The way she moves, talks, laughs, it's like she's wired directly into his nervous system. Suddenly, he's spending his savings on dates, skipping work to see her, dreaming of a life together instead of his business plan. Schopenhauer would say she's not the villain. She's the will's instrument. Her charm, her vulnerability, her allure, their tools, honed by evolution to secure a partner who can provide and protect. She's not manipulating him consciously. She's playing her role, just as he's playing his. But the result is the same. He loses his center. His dreams fade. He becomes a passenger in her story, not the captain of his own. This dynamic isn't just a 19th century theory. It's a drama playing out every day. Think of the men you know who've derailed their lives for love. The lawyer who quit his firm to follow her across the country, only to end up in a dead-end job. The musician who sold his gear to pay for her lifestyle, only to watch her leave when the money ran out. Or maybe it's you, caught in the fever of a woman who made you feel alive, only to realize you've traded your purpose for a mirage. The tragedy of surrender. Losing your North Star. Here's the tragedy Schopenhauer saw. When a man surrenders to desire, he doesn't just lose his path, he loses himself. A man with a purpose radiates energy. It's the contractor who wakes up at 5 a.m. to build his business, the writer who sacrifices sleep for his craft, the father who coaches his kids' team because he believes in legacy. That energy is magnetic. It's what draws people to him, including women. But when he makes her the center of his universe, that energy fades. He stops being the man he was, the man she wanted. You've seen it. The guy who used to light up a room with his drive now looks defeated, checking his phone for her texts, apologizing for things that aren't his fault. She doesn't respect him anymore, not because she's cruel, but because he's given up the very qualities that made him attractive. His independence, his hunger, his focus. Schopenhauer's warning is stark. A man who trades his purpose for love becomes a shadow of himself. And no one, not even the woman he loves, can respect a shadow. Mastering the will, the path to true freedom. So how do you break free? Schopenhauer's philosophy isn't just a diagnosis. It's a challenge. To master the will, you must first see it. Recognize that your desires, especially the ones that burn hottest, aren't always yours. They're nature's programming, pushing you toward reproduction, survival, the endless cycle. But you're not just an animal. You're a man with the power to choose. Start by building a center stronger than desire. Your purpose, whether it's your career, your art, your family, your faith must be non-negotiable. Picture it like a steel core running through you. When you meet her, when that rush hits, you don't let it pull you off course. You invite her into your world, not the other way around. She's a partner, not your destination. This isn't about rejecting love. It's about owning it. Love from strength, not need. A man who knows his worth doesn't beg for her approval. He doesn't reshape his life to fit hers. He builds something bigger than himself, a business, a legacy, a vision, and offers her a place in it. If she walks away, he doesn't crumble. His center holds. Think of it like this. You're a ship, and your purpose is your compass. Desire is the storm, beautiful, wild, but dangerous. A captain who knows his course doesn't let the storm decide his path. He respects its power, but he stays at the helm. When you live like this, you're not just a man. You're a force, unshakable, undeterred. The practical art of mastery. Living Schopenhauer's truth. Let's get practical. How do you live this philosophy in a world of dating apps, late-night texts, and Instagram filters? It starts with self-knowledge. Know your weaknesses. If you're the guy who falls hard and fast, pause when you feel that rush. Ask, is this me, or is it the will? Is she a partner who aligns with your mission, or a distraction pulling you off track? Be ruthless with yourself. Clarity is your shield. Next, guard your purpose like it's sacred. If you're building a business, don't skip meetings for dates. If you're training for a marathon, don't blow off runs to binge Netflix with her. Your time, your energy, your focus, they're finite. Spend them on what makes you whole, not what makes you feel good for a moment. When you do love, do it consciously. Choose a woman who respects your path, who sees your purpose as a strength, not a threat. She's out there, the one who challenges you to be better, not the one who demands you change. But you have to be that man first. A man without a center attracts women who fill the void, and that's a recipe for disaster. Finally, embrace discomfort. Schopenhauer's world is harsh, but it's honest. Life will test you through desire, rejection, failure. Each test is a chance to prove you're more than your instincts. When you feel the pull to give up, to chase the easy high, remember, the man who masters himself is free. The man who doesn't is a slave. The mirror of Schopenhauer, facing your truth. Schopenhauer's philosophy is a bitter pill, but it's medicine. It forces you to confront the animal inside you, the one wired to chase, to please, to surrender. But it also shows you the man who can rise above it, the one who carves his own path, not the one nature hands him. You don't have to buy his darkest conclusions that life is only suffering, that denial is the only escape, but you should heed his warning. Desire is a force, and it's not always your friend. Look at your life. Have you felt the tension between your purpose and the pull of love? Have you given up a piece of yourself for a woman, only to wonder why it left you hollow? Maybe it was the startup you abandoned for her, the gym you quit to spend nights with her, the friends you lost because she became your world. These aren't just mistakes. They're the will at work, pulling you back to the cycle. But you're not doomed. You're a man, not a puppet. You have the power to see the strings, to cut them, to choose. Schopenhauer's gift is clarity, the ability to see the game before it plays you. Build a purpose so strong, a self-respect so unshakable, that no storm of passion can knock you off course. Love deeply, but never from need. Love as a man who knows his worth, who walks his path, who invites her along but never abandons his compass. The final challenge: hold your center. This journey into Schopenhauer's mind has been a gut check. It's not about fearing women. It's about understanding nature, and more than anything, mastering yourself. If you've made it this far, you've shown courage. You've looked into the mirror and didn't flinch. Drop the word "will" in the comments below. It's our signal, a quiet nod to those who dare to face the darkness in search of light. Share your story. Have you felt the pull of desire derail your path? Have you seen love shift from fire to routine, leaving you wondering where you went wrong? Your truth matters. It's how we grow, how we sharpen each other. This community thrives on real talk, so bring it respectfully, always. If this hit you, if it gave you clarity or sparked something in you, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Your support keeps this space alive, where we tackle the hard truths that make you stronger, sharper, better. Hold your center, brothers, always.